Miss Andrea, and welcome to your daily news. Today, we are going to be talking about how the Taliban took over Afghanistan. My name is Chelsea Erazo, and I would like to start mentioning a quote that says, "In a matter of just weeks, 20 years have been reversed." This was said by Sandra Gatman. She is a journalist that is currently making YouTube videos to try to explain the situation that Afghanistan is going through. First, we have the context. We have some key points that are going to help us out to understand the situation of Afghanistan. The first point is the capture of bin Laden, or Osama bin Laden. He was a public enemy from the US, and 20 years ago, the mission was direct, and it was to invade Afghanistan and pursue, capture, or even kill Osama bin Laden. He was the mastermind behind the terrorist attacks from September 11, 2001. But achieving this goal also included overthrowing the Taliban group because they were in power by that time. So this mission got very, very complicated, and it turned into an experiment to reshape Afghanistan's society, because by that time the Taliban were an extremist group. They would punish people. They were making awful things like executing people in public. They would murder. They didn't respect women's rights. They won't allow children to go to the school. They were imposing their own restrictive Islamic laws. So people was very scared. And when the US arrived to Afghanistan, they felt relieved. And they felt like their savior had arrived. So what is happening right now is that the President Biden announced that he was pulling the US troops out of Afghanistan. In May, the troops had already started pulling out, and by July, the Americans abandoned Bagram Air Base. This was the main base that the US military forces had on this country. So, of course, the Taliban took advantage from what was happening, and they accelerated their offensive. And on August 15, the Taliban fighters were inside the presidential palace. So they have taken, by this time, the power. The president from Afghanistan had left the country, and of course people is going crazy. The chaos has expanded all over the country, and here we have some footage of what is happening right now on the only international airport that is working normally. And we can see people running, trying to look for ways to escape the country because they are afraid of what might happen. There was even one man that fell from an airplane, and of course he died. Sadly, he died. And this is very hard even to watch. So the analysis of what is happening right now, I wanted to make some questions. The first one is that, can the Taliban be trusted? I don't think so. They have a huge background that they are very bad. They don't want peace. But they are saying that they are going like in a peaceful way into transfer the power to them, because they are trying to stay in power. They just want to impose their restrictive Islamic laws to all the people. So of course people is afraid. People is skeptical about what might happen now that they are in power again. Then we can ask ourselves, whose fault is it? I don't think we can blame the US. The US made a lot for this country. They were supporting them 20 years. Imagine 20 years. So they spent a lot of money, a lot of time on that people, and they made them felt secure. But now that they are gone, people is not doing what they were supposed to do, because the US military forces were training people to fight for their country, and they refused to do it, even when they outnumber the Taliban group 4-1. Imagine that. So if they are not doing what they are supposed to do, then I don't think any other country can help them. And if the US will decide to go back to Afghanistan, then I think the war will start again, and that is something that no one wants. Then we can say so many years fighting for nothing. I think there were so many advances that Afghan people had, because at least children were allowed to go to the school, women's rights were respected, and there were many major changes on that country. Of course, now that the Taliban are again in power, we really hope that these efforts are not thrown into the trash. So sadly, the story seems to be repeating itself, and it is something that no one can change. And my prayers are going to this country. I really hope that this doesn't get worse. But anyways, the US had to leave at one point. If it wasn't this year, it was going to be next year, or even 5 years later. But they had to leave, and this was going to happen at one point. So it is very sad what is happening, but all we can do is pray for these people. Thank you for your attention, and have a great day.